Hey everyone, welcome to the Stoppage Time podcast. Finally back, boys. Sydney. Finally, we're doing a Sydney live show. It's been a while, except Mick. I don't even know where
First
Mick
time.
is right now. But yeah, we're live.
He'll be.
I don't even know where he is.
Yeah, I think
But
he
anyway.
said. Well, he said he'll come in later, but we should be all right.
Should be all
So
right. Anyway,
how
yeah,
everyone's doing.
boys, how are you going? Good. Had a good week.
All right.
Yeah,
not too bad.
I guess I'm better. I guess I'm feeling a bit better than Yanni this morning after his team struggled to beat a 10-man Arsenal. But yeah,
Plenty of time to talk
Oh
about that.
god. But yeah,
And
a lot to get
before
into,
you go on,
boys.
Val, I'm going to be aiming at you for that. All right, for the
Oh.
Liverpool Arsenal. You're going to be my prime suspect. You're going to be my victim.
But
we'll
my
get to that in a
my
minute.
favorite player played in it. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Mr.
Firstly,
Sitter as well.
We've got the AFCON, the AFCON controversy. Did any of you boys see it?
Oh yes,
Of course we saw it, and I think it'll be talked about for a while, in my opinion, because like we'll get into more detail soon. But I think just in general how it looked, how the ref did it, and his face was just.
It looked like it was he looked like he got paid. I don't know.
Yeah.
actually, question for both of you boys: how much do you reckon he had on Mali to win?
Oh,
I reckon Mali.
he had some fair amount of money.
Because
I mean, that was the first time I've seen something like that happen. Like in football, I've never witnessed something like that.
Not only
I've seen a few.
Not only did he
it's
was it
weird.
that leading up to that, there was a very controversial VAR incident where he was instructed to go look at an incident that he didn't award a red card for. It really should have been overturned and given as a red card, but referee said no. Referee Yanni, I can't remember what his surname was, and
don't really care.
Then blows 80 full time in the 85th minute, does it again in the 89th minute. Interestingly, though, both teams were ordered to come out and play the allotted stoppage time, but Tunisia refused, and I guess rightfully so.
I mean,
I'm not
going to say rightfully so. I'm not going to say rightfully so, because deep down in their head, if they were decent people, they would say, "Nah, we've got a bit more time." Well, so not Tunisia. What's it called? I said I'm thinking the opposite. Val, you go, please. Talk.
Nah, look, like George said, Tunisia refused to come back on, and I don't blame him. Like, I think it was 89 minutes and 46 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then all you see is like the Tunisian coaching staff, everyone just go at the referee, and they had to get all security. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen this happen.
Can you play the video, Val? Can you play it?
See if we can play the video.
Because just for anyone here that's watching that hasn't seen it. I cannot believe that. And like before we started,
that was bad.
Before we started live, like we were just obviously briefly talking about it just so we can like know what we're talking about for topics. But like, did you see how he looked? That the referee.
It's like he didn't care.
Just like nothing.
Yeah, it's like he didn't care. No emotions.
Like, the guy was doing like this. Yeah, linesman. Yeah, whatever. And then he's just. No, avoiding it.
Look, there are just some things that you see in AFCON that you just do not see in any other competition in world football. I can remember back to the 2015 AFCON. I don't know if this was fixed or not, but every result in Group B was a 1-1 draw. So the way they had to decide that the two teams that went through was literally like a lotto pulling out of the ball.
Oh, my God.
And interestingly enough, Ivory Coast progressed and went on to win that tournament.
Because they're one of the favourites anyway.
It's something strange. But
on the AFCON itself, who do you guys reckon will win? Like, we've seen a couple of upsets. Nigeria getting the better of Egypt, who obviously have Mo Salah. Cameroon, the host country, doing really well.
Nigeria. I like Nigeria. Nigeria's hopes are looking good. They look. I actually watched the game. I was actually watching the watch along, Don Robbie's watch along. He had Kelechi and he had Ty as well. And I was watching that watch along, and I was watching the actual game itself, and the Nigerians were just dominating Egypt. You'd expect, how El Neni and Salah were playing. You expect a bit of balance going into the game, but Nigeria were just all over them. But look, my hopes are for Nigeria to go all the way and win it.
To be honest, I think after seeing that whole controversy with the ref, that's just completely thrown me off the African Cup. And it's funny because you wouldn't expect that in Africa. You'd expect in like South America or Europe. Not in Africa, all this controversy.
I think, look, Africa is very passionate with their football as well. And like you said, though, you didn't expect that sort of thing. But I don't know if you guys saw it. It was, I think it was last week. They showed a video of the VAR, and they had they put it in like a plug on the bottom. It was like I can't explain it. It was pretty funny. It was like the TV was right in front of you, and then on the bottom there was just like a plug. Like it was the funniest thing. And then this African guy was just looking at it and was just laughing his head off. And I'm just like it's the perks of like football. Like you see strange things, not only in Africa but in Europe, in South America as well. That's what makes like football funny as well. You know what I mean? You gotta have a laugh about it. But it was pretty
obviously
comical.
It's almost as good as the Greek VAR getting Uber Eats Slovakia for that one game.
That was the funniest thing. That as soon as the door opened, all you see is like bags of Slovakia coming in. Bro, it was so funny. But anyway, moving on from that, let's move on to the Premier League now. Couple big games coming up. We've got we'll go through the first one. We'll go City Chelsea. That's going to be a big one. Chelsea a lot to lose in this game.
I think
a must-win game.
Yeah, a must-win game. Obviously, must-win game for Liverpool, but on City and Chelsea, I don't know. I think ever since Rangnick's come in, it's been quite difficult for Tuchel, and Chelsea have obviously dropped, as we can see. But yeah, I think it's just City's to lose. City have got all the players, they've got all the resources, all their firepower, and I don't know. Plus at the Etihad, I think it'll just be an easy 2-0 win.
Plus City are looking for a double against Chelsea. Obviously, they beat them before the season. Beginning of the season. But yeah, look, it's going to be a tough one. George, what do you think?
Or as it stands, the gap between City and Chelsea are 10 points. So the impetus really is on Chelsea for this one. My theory, as you've all heard a million times, on why City will win the league is because they just generally don't drop points against teams outside the top 6. This is actually a game where I can see them dropping points. Chelsea, if they execute their game plan, are the sort of team that can take points off Man City, because when they are at their best, they are quick in transition and they're direct. And if you can avoid City's swarming inverted fullbacks and create a midfield and distribute the ball wide, you've isolated Diaz and Stones, the two centre-backs, just by themselves, two centre-backs, hopefully with 4 attacking players. So if they execute that and don't get overwhelmed by City's constant hold of possession,
possession of the ball.
I think the thing that favours Chelsea is they do know how to play against the false nine that Pep does like to play, and we saw that in the Champions League final last year. It's one of those things I can see if Chelsea aren't overwhelmed by the occasion and the opposition, I think they can actually sneak the win.
Well, that Champions League final, that was a mistake on Pep's part. I wouldn't really talk about how Chelsea played against City with their false nine. I think that was more just City not playing with a defensive midfielder in a Champions League final. But that's what you get when you're Pep Guardiola. But
Val, just quickly, we got a question. We got a question in the comments from George. Is there a Q&A scheduled?
Yeah, we'll be doing a Q&A soon. I reckon we'll put some questions up on the page as well. We've got plenty of Q&As coming up.
Also, big shout out to Terry for joining us as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Terry. And shout out to George as well, fellow Gooner. He's been a long life Gooner. But we've had plenty of conversations about United and Manchester back in the day. But moving on. Yeah, look, City, Chelsea, it's going to be a tough one. Obviously, City want to do the double over Chelsea, but The real question is now, let's say City win the game. Do you think it's title done for the season?
I think it was done when we lost to Leicester and Chelsea drew against, I can't remember who it was, the last round. Yeah, I think that's it.
Because right now, Liverpool and Chelsea are doing catch up. Yeah.
Yeah. It would just be
so Liverpool and Chelsea are doing catch
place.
up. Yeah, it's a catch up game now between Liverpool and Chelsea. But look, Chelsea have a harder one than Liverpool now because Liverpool have got Brentford. So
hey, that's not easy. That's not easy. Don't write off Brentford.
Look. From when you see City versus Chelsea, and then see Liverpool versus Brentford, you're obviously going to think Liverpool is going to be very hungry to get that second spot secure. If you know what I mean. You can't. I understand Brentford is a tough team, but Liverpool right now, I don't think they want to let this slip, especially against a team against Brentford. But look,
I haven't heard that one before.
I just wanted to add that in just to spice it up a bit. But look, up next we've got for City Chelsea, you guys can tune in 11:30 on Optus Sport. So that's going to be a pretty early game for us. I might stay up and watch it tomorrow
I'll watch
morning.
that too. Why not?
Up next, Aston Villa, Man United.
Mate.
A bit of controversy with the last game.
No controversy at all. Both those goals are offside. Correctly ruled out. No controversy at all on my end.
Controversy as in from the...
It was not offside, but we can move on.
They were.
That.
No, I think they were targeting the Cavani foul.
And that too. That was a foul.
So, yeah.
Anyway, but no.
But look, that doesn't... Look, obviously, look, that game that we watched, obviously the 1-0 win, even the supporters, even the United supporters were like, that we're still not happy with that. Like, with a scrappy performance, that was probably that was a very bad performance. We haven't seen a bad performance like that since the last game we played. But look, it's a very dangerous Aston Villa now because they've just signed Coutinho. Who else did they sign? They've signed one more. We've signed someone else as well.
Lucas Digne.
So let's say those guys start, or probably I'm thinking Coutinho will start. It's going to be a hungrier Aston Villa. And with the rate that United's going... With the rate that United's going now, the confidence is very low. And Villa are obviously on a high now. They've got a new signing. They've got Coutinho. They'd want to win, and especially I think it's at home as well. Was it home or away?
Well,
it's at Villa Park.
It's at Villa Park, yeah.
Yeah, my boy Cesar right here. And we just had to see if Coutinho will start. That's a good question. Will he start? Coutinho against, obviously, when he was at Liverpool, his biggest rival, United. Will he start?
Well, I'd be very surprised if he did, to be honest. I think he'll come off the bench. But look, Val, you said that we were bad, which I wouldn't go as far as saying we were off the ball, we were bad, but in terms of worst performance for ages, I disagree. With the ball, the way we were directing, moving the ball around, creating chances, we're actually okay with that. I think our issue was off the ball, where Bruno Fernandes did his thing where he just loves pressing goalkeepers, and because of that, there's an easy pass into Douglas Luiz in the midfield. And then, while it looks like Fred and McTominay are getting outrun in midfield, which they are, it's a lot easier for Villa to do that because they all of a sudden have a 3-on-2 advantage, and good professional teams can take advantage of a 3-on-2 advantage in the midfield. And that happens because Bruno Fernandes is, whether it's through instruction or not, I don't think it is. He just can't help himself pressing the goalkeeper for no reason.
It's not only that. I mean, if you pay attention to it as well, the passes were horrendous. I mean, the first touches, including the one, I don't know if you saw Lindelof's touch.
Lindelof's one that let him walk. He got lucky there.
It was a very stuff like that. You can't afford to be making mistakes like that because, like I said, when I think it was the game before Liverpool. Which game did we play before Liverpool? Was it? Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, you played
we played Villarreal, wasn't it? Or it was it was a Champions League match.
Yes,
it was Atalanta.
Villarreal.
It was
Atalanta.
Atalanta. So we played Atalanta, and I said the same thing. I was like, yeah, we're playing like this. We're playing a bit sloppy at the back. the mistakes that we make, Liverpool's going to counter on that and obviously punish us.
But look, apart from that one mistake, there wasn't anything obvious that stood out. Like generally defensively, we did pretty well. It was just our defenders were overworked because our midfield was getting dominated.
And that's the thing. Villa were playing 4. We were playing 2. So that was...
we were playing... In my opinion, we shouldn't have been playing... Bruno just didn't do his defensive responsibility very well. And Ranić's got to address that.
Yeah. Question, who
what do you guys reckon?
Who's going to start?
Of predictions?
Look, the thing is who's going to start. That's the main thing. Predictions are, I'm thinking we're still going to lose.
No, I actually think... a stat for both of you. United have not lost at Villa Park since Alan Hansen told Alex Ferguson you can't win with kids. And that was 1995.
And at the same time...
And that is any game.
At the same time, I got a fact as well. Villa are winless in 22 home games against United.
Yeah.
So...
And Villa are on a 3-game losing run in the league as well.
Yeah.
I actually think United will scrap this game 2-1.
What do you think, Yanni, as an outsider?
And that's not me being biased. We're going to win 2-1.
Yanni, what do you think as an outsider, your perspective from a footballing perspective, not because you hate United, but from a footballing perspective?
And I was just about to say it now. Like, I'm really not, like me being a Liverpool fan, like I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I'm just looking at this Aston Villa team now with their last 2 signings they've made.
Yeah.
They already had balance before the January transfer window, but now the balance they've got in that team of quality from back to front, I don't know. I think United are going to keep on breaking records and they'll lose. I think it'll be I want to say scrappy. It'll be a close. So you reckon 2-1 George to United? I'm going to say the opposite, 2-1 to Villa.
I'm gonna say 1-0 Villa, but it's going to be a very close game. Look, it's going to be a very close game, but I think Villa is going to have more of the ball. They're going to be very dominant in possession.
My thinking is like we were slightly, let's say 1.5 string team in that midweek game. Villa were full strength and we beat them.
Now they've got Coutinho and Diniz.
Now they've got Coutinho, but in my opinion,
a different story.
My opinion, even if he does start, do you think he's going to hit the ground running straight away? It takes a game or 2 to readjust. Mind you, I do think Coutinho will do well. I do think Coutinho will do well in this league but just to expect him to do it straight away, I don't think that's fair on him.
Well,
I don't think Villa fans are expecting anything big, like from Coutinho, especially from the first game. I understand it's against United, but they're not expecting to go out all guns blazing. They're expecting it from the other players, but
Yeah. Well, don't forget though, he is playing under Gerrard, and Gerrard would know how to utilize him when he was playing, and especially now as a manager, he would definitely know how to utilize him because Coutinho can play centre mid, like box to box, attacking mid, and on the left. So he's so versatile. I think.
Villa's got to play out.
This is me just being in living in dream world, Coutinho starting and then he'll score a bang against you guys, but let's be real, we probably won't start. He'll probably start from the bench. But yeah, anyway, moving on to the next game. What have we got?
But yeah, before we move on, I think Villa are missing one player. I think they're missing, what's his name?
Who?
They're missing a star player as well. The Scottish guy.
Ollie Watkins.
No,
John McGinn.
McGinn's out for that game. That's what I've heard. Okay. So that's a big loss as well for Villa. McGinn's a good player, you know what I mean? So
yeah, he's a gun. He's a weapon. He's like a white Scottish Conte.
I really like him. I think he's a very underrated footballer. I really like John McGinn.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Like he could be in the most consistent team of the season.
Yeah.
Next game.
Up next, we've got Yanni. We're going to let you handle this one, mate.
Take the reign? Yeah. All right.
Liverpool-Bradford. It should be the opposite, but Liverpool-Bradford. What do you think? It's all you, bro.
Yeah. Oh, look, I mean, just looking at how we played against Arsenal. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not watch the game because Val and I were driving around till freaking 2 a.m, so I couldn't wake up to watch it. But I did watch the extended highlights though, and it's funny. Like 80% of those highlights were in the second half, and I look like I'm frozen. I'm frozen, aren't I? Wait, okay, I'm back to normal. Yeah, like 80% of those highlights were A, from the second half, and B, Granit Xhaka's red card. So that just really shows.
Yeah, he got a
how
24. I think it was the 24th minute, eh?
25th, I think.
Yeah,
25th, 26th. By the way, before we get onto the game, Granit Xhaka has to get out of that club because he's like, how many red cards has he got? He's put on that Arsenal shirt
4.
It's no more than
stupid
that.
reasons.
No, it's more than that.
More?
Yeah,
Like at least
Really?
6 or something.
I'd say it's close to
I
double
don't.
figures.
Well, I wouldn't
And
be
for me-
surprised. But anyway, yeah, I'll go
It's
on.
not even about it's not even about the red cards though. It's the intelligence
How?
of the player. He's an absolute idiot. The way that he gets those red
He's stupid.
cards. He has zero football
stupid.
intelligence. Just
Yeah.
your worst nightmares. Hey, speaking
Hello,
of
boys.
our Arsenal fan,
Speaking
Speaking of the Arsenal, good timing.
how are you, Mick? We're just
Speaking
we're
of-
talking about Granit Xhaka. Have you got anything to say?
Just
Mate,
quickly, because
I
we
know
still
that
talking
this
about-
is a PG show, and there's a lot of words that I'd love to say about him right now. But you know what I mean? Like,
You can
honestly,
say one
like,
word. Don't worry.
one word, moron, absolute moron. Like
You're
twice in
being
a row.
polite, man. Come on, you're being polite.
I know I'm being
Anyway.
polite, but because this is a family show, there's a lot of words that I'd love to add to the dictionary right now. But you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah. No. Anyway, so
it's just stupid
now
now. But
back to
Arsenal did well to hold on. I've got to give him that.
yeah, but back to Brentford and Liverpool. I don't know. I mean, like I think after watching this morning, that was our real first test of not having Mane and Salah, and coming up against Brentford. And like we have to score goals against Brentford because they know how to score goals against us, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I won't be expecting a win. If we do win, it will have to be a scrappy bloody win.
Well, last time
Yeah,
we played
I'm
him,
saying-
it was 3-3.
It was 3-3, and we defended awful. But yeah, I'm just looking at the comments now. George is saying Brentford for the win. Fair enough. And my boy
And there goes the
Teza,
last thing.
Salah and Mane, most we'll get is a draw. And I would say that, like, yeah, Tarek, Teza and I, we've got very similar football brain. So I think we'll say draw, but we are going to struggle.
Yeah.
We're going to struggle so hard. And like I said, when we had our little Instagram live, I think, until we sign someone in January, we're not going to get far. And that's the
Yeah.
honest truth. And we've got big games coming up in January. January is obviously, a busy month in the Premier League or just like in all competitions. But yeah, I think that's my opinion. I think it'll be a draw. What about you, Mick?
Mick and Yanni.
Brentford and Liverpool. Oh, sorry, you go on, George. Go on.
Mick and Yanni, I just want, before we get into Mick's thoughts about the Brentford-Liverpool game, I want to get both your thoughts on Klopp's and Liverpool's alleged false positives, because obviously your teams were affected by that.
False positives. Like we're
Mick?
talking COVID.
Oh, it was to get the game postponed. How did you feel about that?
Wait, so, is it my turn now?
Yeah, Mick, I'd like to hear from you because I think you would have liked to have played played against Liverpool last week.
Let's hear from the Gooner.
Wait. So say it again. Sorry, boys. I can't hear. Say the question again, George.
He's heading to the Emirates. He's heading to the Emirates right now. That's why.
No, I was talking about how Klopp came out and said, actually, all our COVID positives are actually false. Do you think he's actually being true about that, or just arrogant?
But hang on, but I just want to post the question for that. Why would Klopp lie about something like that? That's the real question. Because
maybe because all of these players that were supposedly COVID positive were all back playing this morning.
They're all back, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I should really keep up with the news, eh? But no, it's honestly, look, when it comes to stuff like that, I think I would have loved to have played Liverpool, but it is what it is. We've just got to keep moving on. We can't just keep letting COVID, just play a big role in football. Especially when players get tested for positive, and even managers and people who are working at the club and stuff like that. So I think just I don't know, man. Like it's a pretty tough question to ask there, George. But you know what I mean? It is what it is, and we just got to keep moving on. And like, you know, whatever games get postponed, we'll just play them. Simple.
Got to learn to live with it.
What do you reckon? Yeah, what do you reckon, Mick? Brentford, Liverpool. Your predictions?
Look, I think it'll be a tough game for you guys. I think because you know Mane and Salah are off at the African Cup of Nations. It will be a tough one for you guys. But I feel like you guys have enough depth to at least pull a draw, or maybe even a win. Brentford are a good team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take away any credit from them. I think they're doing really, really well this season. Because it is their first season, they're actually doing really, really well, and they've stunned a lot of teams. And they are capable of stunning Liverpool. But I still think that Liverpool have the depth and the capacity, you know, to get through this game, even without their players. And I think it's either a draw for me or just you might squeeze a 2-1 win.
Well, I personally don't see a win, but
that's my opinion on it.
I reckon it's going to be a Liverpool 2-0 win. I think Liverpool are going to bounce back after that draw to Arsenal, and I reckon it's going to be a 2-0 win to Liverpool. I don't know. I think I don't know. I just think I don't see Liverpool losing that game. I don't know why. I just don't see him. What?
Well, we're not. I don't think we'll win it. And I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to G it up, and you're just trying to jinx it on purpose. You're being a little shithead, mate. You're like, easily.
This is my prediction. I said 2-0. I didn't say 5-0. That's my prediction. I think, if you want me to over-exaggerate it and take the piss out of you, I'd say Minamino will score a double. There you go. That's taking the piss. That's taking the piss, but nah. But look, it's going to be a hard game. Brentford obviously are a good team, but I think Liverpool will sneak a 2-0 win.
Yeah, just quickly, I reckon Liverpool either 1-0 or 2-1. And the reason I say that is because while Liverpool's result against Arsenal was disappointing for most Liverpool fans, you created chances. You just didn't put them in the back of the net. And on another day, those go in. And Brentford, as good as they played against you at Griffin Park, it's going to be tough for them to back it up.
Yeah. So therefore, I don't know. I think, I don't know. I really like, as much as I want to say we'll sneak in a 2-1 win or something, I just don't really see it. And that's how I feel. Any more games coming up, bro?
Oh, we can't miss out. Mick's joined us now. We've got the big one. I think this one's going to be the big one as well. Tottenham, Arsenal. We've got George in the comments
before we go on?
We've got Mick in the comments.
I just want to say one thing.
Everyone's cutting out. Hang on a second. Yeah. No, we've got George in the comments. He's a gooner. We've got Mick here. I want to see if George can give us his views as well. Let's see if he can comment. But yeah, look, it's the North London derby. I think that's going to be on Sunday,
Monday morning, 3:30.
Monday morning.
Yanni, what do you want to say before we move on?
I just saw this freaking hilarious post on Instagram, and it was just a tweet talking about the North London derby, and some Arsenal fan wrote, "Oh, for that game, we need to get Jack Wilshere and Arteta back in the midfield." I don't know why I found that funny. I just thought it was pretty funny.
On that note, we'll jump to you, Mick. Who actually plays in that midfield? Who's available to play in midfield for that game?
I think with that, I think Arteta's got to really change up the formation. I think maybe just have one holding midfielder. I think Lokonga will play that holding midfielder, and we'll have players like Smith Rowe, Saka. We've got, because Thomas Partey's off at the I think at the African Cup of Nations as well. We'll have I think Lacazette will play in that same position like he did against Liverpool as well, and we've still got Martinelli. Look, I think if we have that same that same drive that we had against Liverpool and against Manchester City, we'll really pull an upset against Tottenham. I'm favouring us to win this game. I mean, we'll always step up against Tottenham. I mean, they are our arch rivals. And regardless of how we're going this season, and no matter how many players are out, we always step up against Tottenham. We always love beating them. So I think it's going to be it will be a close one. I'm not going to say it's going to be a whitewash, but the way Arsenal's playing right now, with all the belief that we have, with the players that we have, and just that drive and that energy that they bring, like you just now as an Arsenal fan, I can confidently say, okay, that we can pull a win. I mean, if you asked me this question 2 years ago, or even 3 years ago, I would tell you, man, I don't know. I hope we get a win. But at the same time, now, in this day and age, like because of the way we're playing now, and the energy and the drive that we have, especially the way Arteta's implemented his philosophy, and finally, the players are stepping up, and we're getting the right players, and they're just stepping up. I feel like we can actually get this win. You know what I mean? And we can, like we've done it at the Emirates, we can do it in their home ground. So
a few side notes on that.
We'll pull a win.
A few side notes on that. The Spurs are undefeated in 7 games against Arsenal, home games against Arsenal. So they're unbeaten in 7 home games against Arsenal. And at the same time, Conte has joined the coaching staff. So it's a different one now compared to Spiritu Santo, who when you guys had when they had Spiritu Santo in the beginning of the season, there was a 3-1 win. Now it's a different one. Now you guys
just on Conte, as abysmal of Tottenham have been in some games of the league, they still haven't lost in the league under Conte.
Yeah. So it plays a part now. So it's 50-50. But boys, we'll get your predictions for Arsenal Spurs.
I'll go.
I know.
Go.
Mick, you go. Sorry, Mick, you haven't given your prediction.
I'll go.
Okay, I'll just do it quick. I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs. Harry Kane scores.
Okay. I'm not gonna be an Arsenal fan right now. Okay, but obviously, I hate Tottenham more than I hate any other team, and I honestly have to say, I think, like I said before, if we walk in with that same energy and that same drive that we did against Manchester City, the Spurs don't have a chance at all. I think the Gooners will pull a win this one. I think maybe 1 or even 2-0. That's what I say.
Next up,
Yanni, what do you think?
I'll go.
Mate, yeah, you go.
I don't know. And you're right, Mick, when you say if you played against Tottenham like you did against City in that first half, and don't forget, if VAR don't save your opponent like freaking Superman, then you pull away. And I wouldn't say easy because it's a derby; it's never going to be easy. I reckon you guys can pull away a solid 3-1 win. Yeah, I think, but you're right, Val, in terms of how it's very 50-50 now. Obviously, Arteta's slowly gelling his team together, but Spurs with Conte, you've got Conte as a manager. You're going to do well.
Yeah, especially in a derby.
Yeah, it'll be close. It'll be very close. But if Arsenal stick to their game plan, how they played against City in the first half, and if VAR don't bloody rob them of their freaking victory, then yeah, I think Arsenal will pull away 3-1 win.
And at the same time, before Jordan, I don't think you have given your prediction yet, but before I go on, I just want to say something. Even with regards derbies and all that, I think points don't matter now, regardless of whether you're 6 points ahead or what. Now this is a derby, so points out of the window. It's a win game for anyone. Anyone wants to win this game. So no one's at the same time. Tottenham, Arsenal are not thinking of the table. This is an actual derby right now, and as well as the fans who are obviously into it as well. I'm sorry for my French, but they couldn't give a shit about the points right now. As I said, even with the Manchester derby, as bad as we were going, and we wanted to get that win. Obviously, we didn't. But a derby is a derby. It goes any way, regardless if you're last on the table, if you're first on the table. Anyone's game that day.
I actually think, on the contrary, this derby actually has a lot more importance because of Val. I know you say points don't matter, but in this case, I reckon it actually does. Arsenal and Spurs are 2 teams that are well in the top 4 race. Arsenal are slightly ahead with the point.
But at the same time,
Obviously, a derby is important regardless of the situation, but I reckon this derby is even more important because it has that added weight of the ramifications of what it would have on the Premier League that year. But Mick,
more pressure from both sides as well.
Nick, just a question for you. How much do you think your resilience against Liverpool this morning has taken out of you or for Sunday's game?
Look, I think, it's not easy playing with 10 men, but at the same time, like in football, when you're down to 10 men, like you never underestimate a team with 10 men. And I think Arsenal went in, like especially after our loss against Nottingham Forest, we're specialists in FA Cup, and to get kicked out by Nottingham Forest really took a lot out of us. And I think that anger got carried into this game. You know what I mean? And when Granit Xhaka stupidly got that red card, I think the Gunners were like, okay, well, this is not going to be another week where we're going to get kicked out of the Carabao Cup, or we're going to end up losing, and get a hefty scoreline going into the Emirates. Our resilience was like, if we were able to be that resilient at Anfield, and mind you, even if Liverpool didn't have all their players, it's not very easy to win at Anfield. I'm sorry. I have to give respect and credit to Liverpool for that. It's not easy beating them at Anfield. So for us, if we were able to do that, and I think if we just carry that same resilience, and like I said before, I know I sound like a broken record, but if we carry that same energy and drive, okay, into this game, and we just take control of the game and we don't do anything stupid, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll actually pull this win. So resilience is for us, we need that resilience against Tottenham, especially because now we have a lot of players out there. You got Partey, now you got Granit Xhaka, and you've got Aubameyang hasn't been playing for a long time. You've got also El Neni, another holding midfielder who's also away for the African Cup of Nations. So
Xhaka suspended as well.
And like you said, George, earlier before, we're us and Tottenham are now fighting for the top four, and I don't think Arsenal at this stage are willing to give up anything. I think now we've got everything to fight for. So regardless of who we have out and what odds are against us, I think we will step up, and we've proven it in the past couple of months.
At the same time,
our loss to City at 5-0, okay, at the Etihad, or should I say the Emptihad, right? That the whole everything changed. Everything changed for Arsenal.
I love
everything ever since then. You know what I mean? The players have had enough. We got the right players, and we're just playing proper football right now. This is the first time I can say as an Arsenal fan, okay, that we are now looking forward to something. Now I've got something to believe in. The past couple of years, I would have said, I'm happy with a draw against some crappy team that's coming in the middle of the league. But now it's like, wow, we can actually fight against the big four. We can fight against City. Well, we did that. We can fight against Liverpool. We did that in the Carabao Cup. So Tottenham, our arch rivals, let's bring in that same energy, and I think we can pull the result.
That's it.
At the same time, you're going to rely on your youngsters as well.
Yeah.
That's a big key thing, and it's a key thing from every team as well. For Liverpool, they've got players out. Okay, they're relying on their youngsters as well. I don't think United only have Bailly out, I think.
But sorry, I just want to add one more point. Sorry, I know, it hurts me to say this, but Liverpool actually did really well. I think they should have came away with that win. I mean, Minamino had the best opportunity to send them 1-0, into going into the Emirates. Liverpool were over us in attack. Liverpool were all over us in attack. Did have a couple.
You know what's going to come your way now. That's why.
Look.
Like,
anyway, let's moving on. Yeah, let's move on.
Moving on.
All right, Yanni. We wish the best for Minamino in all his future and all his future endeavors His future endeavors.
Okay, but because you said we were talking before we went live, like how we're going to talk with our topics and that. You said after we talk about the reviews, we're going to talk about Liverpool Arsenal. So now this is my time to tell you that you can shove your opinions about Minamino up.
Hey, we said. Oh wait. We said he's counting it on one game. Wait, listen. He's counting it on one game.
No.
We said give a whole season. Give a whole season, and he's counted on one game.
It's my time. Okay. He can't even be consistent in the Carabao Cup, let alone the
Okay,
Premier League.
listen. Hang on a second. Before you continue, hang on a second. Before you continue, we agreed on something, and you agreed on it as well. Give him a season to prove himself, right? Give him a season to prove himself, and you said yes. You're saying because he missed one opportunity on one game, you're telling me to shove my opinions about Minamino.
Yep, I will say that.
That's the thing about Scousers now. Here's an example. I'll give you an example. Yanni's an example about a Scouser. Yanni's an example about a Scouser. When we say give time, the guy doesn't give time. The guy's been here how long?
Giving him more than enough time. More than
the thing about
he's even had time in Southampton.
Listen. There's a difference between Southampton and Liverpool, and I'm sure people can agree on that.
You play better. Anyway, that's a difference.
You continue about Minamino's woefulness.
Okay, all right. Woefulness. Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious about his woefulness, right? It was such a perfectly placed. Like it wasn't like so. I remember. So Oxlade-Chamberlain chipped the ball into the box. Someone headed it out. Perfectly placed to just pass it in. It was completely open goal. There was only Ben White just standing right in the middle of the goal. So he could have kicked it to the left or he kicked it to the right. Side foot, half volley, pass, simple. Hero of the Carabao Cup again. Whoop-de-doo. Good on him. We might score a goal. He tries to go laces through, thinking that he's freaking prime Stevie G, and he kicks it up to freaking stand freaking Bay Z in the 90th minute or how like right at the end. Right?
So let's say Jota missed that. Let's say if Jota or Firmino missed that. Mm-hmm. So let's say Jota and Firmino missed that. What would you say?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to say what you said in the past, and I'm going to say what you said, like you quote, that I'm not going to judge someone that makes 1%, he makes one bad mistake where the rest of the 99%, they've been good, right? That's what you said. I'm taking you on that, right? So Jota has been very good, consistently, scoring goals. He misses a sitter, shit go, pardon my language. It's a pretty horrific sitter. But what am I going to do? Chop his head off for it? No. Minamino, on the other hand, I will chop his head off for it because he's been shit this whole season. He likes to turn up in Carabao Cup games, and he does that. How do you do that? I'm not a professional player. I will score that goal. George can score that goal. Mick can score that goal. You can score that goal. I'm sorry. Like I'm. Harsh. I will be judging.
Before both of you continue, I want to provide some context here. I don't think he's actually 26 years old, so it's not like he's a young player. Take that into your account when you're making your opinions.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Are we seeing him at his peak now, or do you actually think he can develop any further?
I reckon he can. I say he can.
I don't think he can, in my opinion.
Peak? What's his peak? His peak is Carabao Cup freaking scoring equalizers against Leicester. That's his peak.
How many games has he played? Full games.
Oh, here we go. How many games?
No. I'm asking you. How many full games? How many games has he played? Full games. Give me the number. Give me the number. Full games of how many? Thank you. Anyway, moving on.
He's played a few full games.
All right, yeah.
But he's also been at the club for
handful.
nearly 2 years.
Yeah, he's been on loan to Southampton. Anyway, moving on. We got the old Classico.
He played better games at Southampton than at Liverpool in that short period of time. Send him back to Southampton.
Different between Southampton and Liverpool. Two different pressures there. But anyway, moving on to Real Madrid, Barcelona.
You play well. Oh my God. This is me, the example of Scousers, the example of freaking Mancunians. Don't know anything about freaking telling difference between a good player and a bad player.
Anyway, moving on. We had a little Scouser incident here. They get angry, these guys. But anyway.
Mancunian incident.
Real Madrid, Barcelona. Now
Do me a favor.
This one is a classic one. I watched this one. I don't know if any of you guys watched it.
Yeah, I caught it.
What do we think of the game?
I guess it's an indication of where both sides are at the moment. Real Madrid were dominant in that match, and it showed. It's just that Barcelona purely were driven on hard in that match. But ultimately, Real Madrid's quality showed, especially in extra time.
Mick?
Yeah, George actually took the words right out of my mouth. Real Madrid were dominant, and I don't see any team stopping them, whether it's in the La Liga or even in the Champions League. That's just my personal opinion. Anything can happen. But again, like we talk about rivalries, and when especially when it's a derby of this caliber, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen each team, pump each other in the past, right? Whether Barcelona pumping or whether it's Real Madrid. But there's always going to be a good game. And I felt like Barcelona actually did really well, despite the fact that, Real Madrid, they were, all over that match. But I felt like, like the scoreline, did them justice in a way. There were times where it was, finished 2-2, then Real Madrid at extra time, pulling away with the win. So it was a good match to watch. It was like it brought back that old, El Clasico vibe in a way.
What about Yanni?
Anything to
What do
add?
you think?
I'm looking at the stats right now because unfortunately I didn't watch it, and from what I'm looking at, I think I would agree with you, Mick, that it does look like it was an old school El Clasico match. All these stats in like Barca had 20 shots, Madrid had 14 shots, 6 on target for Barcelona, 8 on target for Madrid, but we can go on with that. Yeah. So but this is 2 legs, isn't it? Same thing with like the FA Cup in that. It'll be 2 legs.
No, it's not. No,
It's one
not.
leg. So it's Athletic Bilbao and Real Madrid final.
For the Super Cup.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just on Google now, and it came up with the score of the El Clasico that just happened. But then they're showing another one, but it's for the actual La Liga on the 20th of March. Yeah, okay. So just one game. So Madrid are through. Yeah, I mean, look, it looks like it was a good game. I just quickly checked the lineups. Ferran Torres started. So whoever watched it, how did he play?
He was pretty quiet, to be honest. I think the one thing with this game is that, yes, the stats do say Barcelona had more of the possession, which is actually true, but it was meaningless possession. You wouldn't actually know that Barcelona had more possession unless you check the stats. Real Madrid, every time they had the ball, they looked like they were threatening and doing something with it. Barcelona was just sideways every time they had the ball. So a lot of those shots, they were shots from distance. But yeah, on Ferran Torres' performance, it was just quiet. Didn't really get into the game too much. Ansu Fati when he came on actually was a lot more direct and played really well. As was Pedri when he came on. Big shout out to him.
Yeah.
One
Pedri,
player of Barcelona
player.
had a surgery a couple of days before, and then he ended up playing.
Yeah, the Etaloui player.
Who was that?
Abdesamad Etaloui, I think it was.
Yeah, he had his hand wrapped up, and he had surgery a couple of days before, wrapped it up, and he played.
Did really well, came off the bench, played pretty well, actually.
Yeah. No, credit to him as well. But yeah, that's about it, boys. Quick
predictions for the final. Real Madrid versus Athletic Bilbao.
I think we all know that one. I think we all know that one.
This is like a 10-second segment. I think everyone's going to agree with Real Madrid, going all the way with that.
I think there's only one winner in that one. I think that's Madrid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. We still got 10 minutes, boys. We're going to do this for an hour, so we can talk about something else.
Well, I've actually got trivia for you, boys. So in the comments, feel free to play along. And I'll keep score. There's 6 questions. I'll keep score for all you 3 of you boys.
Georgie with his trivias. Let's go.
Right, let's go. So this one's a bit of a first question. In 2021, Newcastle broke the EPL record for most goals conceded in a calendar year. How many goals was it?
Shit.
I'll yell out a number. I'll tell you higher or lower. Whoever gets there first.
Goals against?
Yeah, goals conceded.
No. How about this? Like each of us will say a number, and then you say who the winner is. I got closest. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Done. All right. So Val, go first.
I don't know.
So this is Premier League goals in the calendar year of 2021. It was the record number. Terry's suggesting
Record
60.
number.
I'll give you a hint. It is more than that.
I'm going to say 85.
85. Mick, what are you saying?
I'd say close to 100.
You're going to say 100, and Yanni?
110.
Val's the closest. It was 85. Val said 85. It was 80.
85.
I thought it was going to be
Val
80.
said 85. The answer is 80.
Fuck. That was a guess, boys. So, fuck.
Okay, next question is something that happened really recently. Oh, one of these players did it very recently. 2 players have scored in all 6 group stage games in the Champions League. Who are they?
Okay, I know one of them. It is.
Sorry, George, can you say that again?
I'll repeat the question. 2 players have
like
scored in all 6.
That's why.
2 players have scored in all 6 games of a Champions League group stage. Name them.
Okay, I'll go first because I know one of them straight away. Sebastian Haller.
Sebastian Haller is one of them.
And I don't want to say
Haaland?
Not Haaland.
No, not Haaland. No.
Lewandowski.
Not Lewandowski. He got close. Yanni?
So I need to do my 2 first. So I know Haller and Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo. Haller and Ronaldo.
Oh,
they are. So one for Val, one for
I
Yanni.
didn't get that.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Next...
No, I didn't get one.
Yeah, I got it. Bro.
Val got the first question right. That's what I mean. One correct answer
Oh,
for
okay.
Val and one for
Oh,
Yanni.
okay, yeah.
Okay, so question 3. The 2 finals that Lionel Messi has won with Argentina are the 2008 Olympics and the 2021 Copa America. True or false? Both of these games had the same scoreline and the same goal scorer. I'll let you all answer this one.
False.
Yanni's saying false.
I'll say false as well.
Nick
True.
says false, and Val says true, and Val is the only one that is correct. Both of those games were 1-0 wins to Argentina, and Angel Di Maria was the goal scorer on both occasions.
Was Angel Di Maria in the national team back in 08?
Yeah.
Or the Olympic team.
Yeah. He scored as well, and then he scored
he
the
was
recent
20.
one as well.
Yeah. He must be 20
Next
years
question.
old. 20-year-old Angel Di Maria. Wow.
Yep. Next question. How many major trophies have Germany won as a united country? So this obviously excludes the trophies that they won as West Germany when they were a split nation.
Okay.
Bonus points if you can name the major trophies that they were.
Oh, don't worry about that.
This is gonna be a tricky one. I'm gonna say 3 World Cups.
3 is not correct.
I'm going to say 2.
Mick says 2. Yanni, what are you saying?
4.
Mick is correct. They've won 2 as a united country. Do you
George
want to
and
have a
Mick
guess
are
which ones
correct
they
as
were?
well.
Mick's got that correct. Do you want to have a
Fair
guess which trophies they were that they won as a united country?
To be honest with you, that was probably an educated guess. I remember reading about that a long time ago. I think I was a young teenager back then. But
well, those 2 trophies.
I'm flabbergasted, man. I have no idea.
Those 2 trophies were the most recent World Cup that they won, 2014, and the 1996 Euros. They were the 2 trophies that they've won as a united country.
Yes.
And George, very good in the comments, got that right. So that means Val's on 2 correct answers, Mick on 1, and Yanni on 1. Question number 5.
Let's go.
I'm going to say sequence. Tell me the next player in the sequence. So Fabio Cannavaro, Iker Casillas, Philippe Lahm, blank. You get 1 point for telling me what the sequence is, and 1 point for telling me who the next name in the sequence is.
Okay,
I'll go.
I know it's.
Val.
Okay, go. Val go. Yeah.
Val go first, then Yanni. You.
I think the other player is Buffon.
It's not Buffon, no.
Oh.
Yanni.
Okay, so I know what this sequence is. This is
what is it?
It is a team of the year.
Ballon d'Or.
And you're naming
it's not
the
a team of the year.
defense.
It's not a team of the year.
Ballon d'Or.
No. I'll repeat the sequence. Fabio Cannavaro, Iker Casillas, Philippe Lahm, blank.
I've got in my head
Maldini?
Sergio Ramos.
No, it's not Sergio Ramos. I'll give you a hint. It's to do with captains that have won a particular type of trophy.
Oh,
Puyol?
No, it's not Carlos Puyol. Think about who won the last World Cup.
France.
what are you doing to us, George? Man, you're fucking.
Wait, this one's a hard one. Wait, the last World Cup, France won it.
Yep, and who was their captain?
Who was their captain? Lloris.
Oh, Lloris.
Yes, Hugo Lloris. So that's 1
yeah.
point for telling me the name of the sequence, the play that was missing. So what was that actual sequence? The 4 names. Yes, Terry was right saying Lloris. Terry, very good.
What do you mean? Like, what is the sequence? What do you mean by that? What are you trying to say?
Those 4 players were the last 4 captains to do what?
To win a World Cup.
Yes, they were the last 4 World Cup winning captains. Very good, Val.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's actually true.
Yep, Terry
fair
pointed
enough.
that well. They were the last 4 World Cup winning captains. So that means Val on 3 correct answers, Yanni on 2, and Mick on 1. And George, very good, pounded at the past World Cup captains. Thank you very much, Tom, for joining. Last question. Val, get this right, or as long as Yanni doesn't get this right, Val wins. Who am I? I finished 2nd in the 1999 Ballon d'Or voting. I have played in the EPL, La Liga, Serie A, Ligue 1, and MLS. And my surname was used in a movie title released in 2002.
What do you do in your spare time, bro?
Yeah,
Too much spare time. Too much spare time.
Oh,
I
wow.
feel like
Repeat that
HSC.
question. Beckham, bend it like Beckham.
Yes, it is. Tom, very good in the comments. He's got that right. And Val's 1 trivia. Very good. George got that right in the comments as well.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah.
So, Val, have you got anything else to close out the show? Anything to add?
No, I think we're going to get Yanni to close out the show.
Just quickly, Tom's in the comments. Make sure for all United fans watching, go check out the United podcast. They were on earlier today. I'll definitely be got a comment in earlier. So yeah, Yanni, close it out.
All right. Well, before I start the outro, George, I haven't thought that hard since the freaking HSC 6 years ago. So thank you for ruining my brain cells. But yeah. Anyway, boys, we'll wrap it up here. Lovely chat with everyone as usual. I've been quite MIA this week with the podcast, so I just want to apologise with that.
All right, guys.
But is that you, Mick?
Yeah, he's
No, that wasn't me. That was just some random bloke in the background. Sorry about that. I
Anyway.
apologise to the fans. Actually out somewhere, and I completely forgot about this podcast. So I've been busy all day. So I do apologise.
It's all good,
that was
Mick.
some random in the background.
Anyway, well, awesome, guys. Well, everyone watching, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, the usual. We're going to be obviously sharing everything that we've done, exposing us. So share us as well, all to all the fans. And yeah, boys, want to say anything else? Say goodbye or?
No, good. Have a good night, guys. And thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Thank you to George. Thank you to Teza. Thank you to Tom as well. Who else? That's about it.
We've got Jayu, I think that's his name.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Like Yanni said, like, subscribe, and we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, and just
Awesome.
sorry guys, just one more point I wanted to mention as well, that we will be coming up with we'll be having some segments and some things that we'll be doing other than just the podcast really, really soon. So as the boys said before, like and subscribe. Some really funny, entertaining content is coming up very, very soon. So you guys don't want to miss out on that one. And yep, I bid everyone a farewell, and I hope everyone's keeping safe, especially throughout these times. And yeah, see you guys really, really soon.
See you guys.
See you guys.